Hello, YouTube. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all doing very well. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. We are discussing Donald Trump, the tariffs, jdvance, etc. Yes. And who? Elon Musk. Yes, he's like one of the major people that is giving the American people egg on their face. So we're discussing Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and a little JD Vance, if we can get to him today, okay? We got a lot to cover, so much to talk about. Donald Trump right now is playing golf, not worried about the American people woes, which he calls. He calls all of this, and he's out playing golf. While the American people are scared. Small businesses are afraid. And what Donald Trump doing? He's out playing golf. He's not concerned about us, the American people. Not at all. Veterans afraid. Other countries disappointed in America. We have no allies. Why? Because of Donald Trump. Thank you, LaSwan. How you doing? Because of Donald Trump, we have no allies. He's ruined our best friendship with Canada. Canada was like our favorite friend to have. We no longer have that. China has come back with a 34% retaliation tariff. And the list goes on. Everybody is coming back at us. Donald Trump calls us. He didn't put a tariff on Russia, but he put one on everybody else except Russia. All the other countries, but except Russia. While he's out there playing golf at Mar-a-Lago. Getting visits from LL Cool, Laura Loomer. And you people out here talking about where's Kamala Harris? Well, I'm going to show you what Kamala Harris. She has stepped back into the scene. But she's been back in the scene. As you can recall, when the fires happened in California, Kamala Harris was out there with the people that were affected by it. Donald Trump, all he did is go do some publicity. He'd even go out there and talk to the people that lost their homes. But VP Kamala Harris, not even our president, nor is she our vice president. She went out there to the people that were affected by the wildfires in California. Donald Trump, no, he didn't do that. He just went and sat down and wanted to do a little publicity stunt. While VP Kamala Harris actually went out to the families that were affected by the fires. And right now, Donald Trump has started a big fire in our own country. And it's burning down the strength of the American people. That is what's happening today. So I don't want to hear about the great things Donald Trump is doing. Tell me what's great that he's doing. He's not doing anything great. Hey, LaSwan, I know I miss her very much too. I do. Let me know you can hear me. Please, LaSwan, let me know if you can hear me in the chat. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now I've been on here now about 4 minutes. Our country is suffering. Everybody's mad at America. We have no allies. We burned every bridge we have had. See, we didn't have those problems when President Joe Biden was in there. We was at the top. We wasn't even drowning in the misery that's now. Donald Trump doesn't even care what he has done to this country. He just wants to destroy this country. And he has, in 50 days, he has destroyed the American economy. Y'all can't blame Joe Biden. Stop fixing your lips blaming Joe Biden. Because it doesn't make any sense. Just a moment. Just a moment, everybody. We're in a bad situation. We got Steve Biden. He's claiming that Trump's going to prison. If he's going, go. Please, send him away, Lord. So this is what Steve Bannon says. He says, Steve Bannon thinks that the world is writing may already be on the wall for Donald Trump, following the latest farm order from Judge James Borbridge. And Bannon admitted on his show last week that he thinks Trump is going to prison, but only if a Democrat wins the White House in 2028. The truth is that Trump should already be in prison for the crimes he was convicted for. And he managed to avoid that. But Bannon, as usual, has ulterior motives for his claim. Hey, Trump used everybody, so use him too. Shoot. Get him. Okay. Military pilots turn against Pete Hegseth following signal chat leak. Current and former pilots from the U.S. military are speaking out about Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and his reckless behavior exposed through the Signalgate scandal. These pilots say that Hegseth's recklessness could get pilots and other members of the military KILLED. That's what they're saying. And they say that there's no place in the military for negligence of this caliber. And I totally agree with the military. He replaced a man that put in 40-something years, a high-placed sergeant, highly educated. He didn't have the qualifications to be where he are. But because Donald Trump has a problem with the black people, as he said, the blacks, he replaced a black man with this nincompoop, Pete Hegseth. And old Elon, he continues to whine as if we care. When you spend $28 million trying to bribe Wisconsin voters to vote for a MAGA Supreme Court judge and you lose by 10 points. This is Elon right now, miserable. He calls it on himself, and Crawford is now the Supreme Court Justice Judge, picked a Democrat. And he spent $28 million. He paid for that election, and it didn't go his way. Elon, you're a fool, baby. You're a fool, baby. You're a fool. You're a bigger fool than your daddy is. Your daddy ended up having kids or being with his stepdaughter. A sick family. One moment. Hold on. Also, Donald Trump didn't even go see about the fallen soldiers, the four. He didn't go see it about them. He don't care.
Lithuania threw a memorial parade for the 4 American soldiers that died in the training exercise over there. A whole country. Trump still says he doesn't know nothing about it. 4 American soldiers died. Another country celebrated their passing. He's playing golf. He's raising tariffs against the whole world. While other countries salute our fallen soldiers. Are we great again? Are we great again?
Yes, Donald Trump is playing golf, pretending he knows nothing about the American soldiers that have been unalived. That's a lie. He knows. He's a compulsive liar. Donald Trump is the biggest liar in the world. Not just in this country, but in the world. And he has America looking so bad right now with his stupid tariffs, his lies, and beyond. It's ridiculous.
This cost our business about $25,000. We're a small business. We sell lab diamonds that we import from India, and we just found out that all the orders that we took in March that are produced in India and then delivered within 3 to 6 weeks. All of our March orders are going to have a 27% increase in cost. We can't up the price on our customers because they've already paid. This is the president grabbing money out of our hands and just taking it. I told people we would not be increasing costs on our items until the 5th, and I will continue to abide by that. Please buy some studs. We have a slightly better margin on those. Thank you. And to be as apolitical as possible in this situation, though it's very difficult. As someone who has lightweight studied economics, this is a great way to destroy an economy and to destroy the world economy and make a lot of enemies. My God, we shouldn't be doing this. This is horrible. Oh God, follow the store at the pineapple door.
I feel the same way because my beauty products, my lipstick line, which I have on today, Faith, is organic. It's a liquid lipstick, and this particular shade is Faith. But it is made over in China. All of my beauty products for my entire lipstick line is made in China. It's going to cost me more, so what will I have to do? I will have to jack up the price on my products. It's going to hurt my business. Because people complain about having to pay more for organic products anyway. I know exactly how this young man feels. I do. One moment.
All right, we have breaking news. The largest social media data leak in history just happened to Twitter. Apparently 400 gigabytes of data has been lost, been breached and uploaded to breach forums. Basically, it's a massive tar.gz of all the Twitter data. Now, this could have massive negative repercussions for Twitter and specifically Elon Musk, because if the data can be used to show that Elon and Twitter knew that most of their accounts were from bots, basically the dead internet theory, that he could be in serious legal repercussions with the investors from XAI and face an investor lawsuit and a revolt, basically showing that he was a fraud. And we all know that this guy is a fraud. Massively hyping up Tesla to a PE ratio 10x that of Toyota. So we know that the guy is a scam artist, and he's using shell corporations to sort of cheat the system, basically running a Ponzi scheme. And so the question is whether or not this data leak contains IP addresses, because if it does, it can be shown that Elon knew that a lot of these Twitter accounts were just bots, and that he sold basically a defunct asset, a bankrupt social media company to XAI, and dramatically overrated its valuation. So there could be massive legal repercussions if Twitter and X and Tesla start having major financial problems, which could happen if consumers revolt and stop using X, they stop using Twitter, they stop using Tesla. So we'll see pretty soon. It turns out on April 22nd is when Tesla's shareholder meeting is, the earnings call happens. And if their earnings don't look good, Tesla stock could basically fall through the floor. So listen, this could be this have massive repercussions for Elon Musk.
London Bridge is falling down for Elon, but it looked like America is falling too, y'all. This is gonna be a year, but I'm praying about it, and we keep moving, and we keep progressing and growing, prospering. Okay.
So I need everybody here to understand just how crazy it is that China, Japan, and Korea are banding together to respond to Velveeta Voldemort's tariffs. Together. Those three countries aligning on anything. It's like if Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader were to become best buds, or if Dumbledore and Voldemort vacation together, or if Captain America decided to become Hydra's new mascot. I am the daughter of a Korean man who was born in 1938. And as his youngest baby girl, he pretty much adored anything that I ever brought over to him, gave him, all of it. Like I would literally find packaging of things that I had previously given him in the past. He kept the boxes. So back when I would come home for breaks from college, I would always bring over little things that we could eat together and hang out. There's one time I had to stop at a Japanese grocery store to pick up a few things because that was what was on my way. And my dad was really excited about the baked goods that I brought over, and then he asked where I got them. And I told him it was from the Japanese grocery store. This man had a sweet tooth like no other, did not touch a single pastry. Gave me a polite smile because he didn't want to hurt my feelings, but literally left the food untouched. Yeah, so those three countries banding up together and being like, screw you guys, it's just not good.
There's 3 foreign countries that are against us because of who? Donald Trump. It's gonna get worse, everybody. It's not gonna get better until he's out of that White House. It's only gonna get worse, everybody.
The stock market does not lie. If it goes down 1,000 or 1,500 points in one day, it's an economic indicator that people with the knowledge are very worried about what's happening. And that's what happened today.
Stocks on the market and everything else. I don't want to hurt that either, but sometimes you have to give to receive.
I expected it to go down, and expected to go down that drastically.
I pay attention to the tariffs. If they could bring more jobs to American people in the United States, then I think it's great. But I don't want to see it to hurt the people in the United States.
I'm concerned. I mean, over 80 years, we've had trade partners that we trusted and they trusted us, and we've lost that over the course of 2 months or a month.
I feel nervous for our household budget. With 2 kids, I wonder what our grocery bill is going to be like. I wonder if we can afford to upgrade our car when it breaks.
What overseas is doing to the United States, that's wrong. Whether it's any kind of business, whether it's your business, my business, or anybody's, that's wrong. And hopefully these tariffs, I know what he's trying to do. These tariffs will help the people with businesses, break the business stronger, make the people that's working and everything else, they can come back and make a decent living.
There's never been a aspect of where a tariff is considered good economic policy.
Look at 1929, Great Depression. That's the last time we did across the board massive tariffs was 1929, and there were bread lines. Tariffs have never worked out.
And all you continue to hear on the Republican and Democrat side, that tariffs never work. Tariffs never work. All right now. Keep believing Trump if y'all want to.
So yesterday was Liberation Day. Today is Recession Day. Nike done already lost $10 billion in an hour overnight. The stock futures was down 1,000+ points. So when the stock market opened today, that's a recession gonna start today. His terrorists that he put on all these countries is nothing but just pure garbage with a man with no common sense. But we all finna feel the pain that's coming up in the next couple months if these tariffs really go through. So I'm telling y'all, put some money to the side because a recession is coming within the next 6 to 12 months. I ain't the smartest person in the world, but I did go to college, exactly 3 of them. And I know what tariffs do. I know about the economy. So today, y'all, is Recession Day. Yesterday was Liberation Day. Today is Recession Day. This man finna destroy the world economy because he don't understand. And that's what happened when we put a guy who filed bankruptcy 7 times, destroyed everything he touched, in charge of America, the world's leader. Now we all finna feel the pain. So welcome to Recession Day today.
I'm not welcoming it. He said it, but I'm not. I'm not excited about it. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to see it. None of it.
Bloodbath on Wall Street.
Stocks are tumbling. Big market sell-off this hour. It is ugly out there.
Many analysts predicting dire days ahead.
The worry is that the trade war is going to increase prices, eat into profits, that it could kill jobs.
If these are sustained,
Right.
that it won't just be a U.S. recession, it'll be a global recession.
Check out the headlines. Trading blows. World War fee. The tariffs expected to impact just about everything we buy.
By some estimates, families, households could be paying as much as $7,000 more a year.
So, is there anything you can do to minimize the impact? Stock market guru Jim Cramer is telling investors, sit tight.
Don't sell, just hold.
Billionaire Mark Cuban's advice is to stock up. It's not a bad idea to go to the local Walmart or big box retailer and buy lots of consumables now. From toothpaste to soap, anything you can find storage space for, buy before they have to replenish inventory. At this Costco in New Jersey today, lots of customers were loading up their carts. But it was certainly not the panic buying seen during those bleak days of COVID. President Trump put a positive spin on the fallout today.
You'll see how it's going to turn out. Our country's going to boom.
White House officials made the TV
It's not
rounds,
going to
trying
boom, y'all.
reassure a jittery nation.
To anyone on Wall Street this morning, I would say trust in President Trump.
Oh, God, no. That's a Republican speaking that. And a lot of the Republicans are on the Democrat side right now. They are. One moment, please. Just a moment. Just a moment, everybody, okay?
Mitch McConnell just dropped a bomb on Donald Trump, and this is a really bad sign. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. The Global Language Monitor might well name tariffs word of the year. Few words have dominated the news cycle more since Donald Trump's ignoble return to the White House. His tariff policy, which he claims will restore American manufacturing and not in any way raise prices for everyday Americans, began with 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada. Despite warnings by economists and reciprocal tariffs put in place by both nations, Trump assured Americans that his massive tax increase, and yes, tariffs are taxes paid by consumers, would bring about American prosperity. After 2 months of delays, Trump finally put his tariffs into effect and announced even more taxes on goods from all over the world. That includes
CNN breaking news.
Hi, everyone. I'm Casey Hunt. Thanks for being with us in the arena on this Thursday as we are witnessing a market meltdown triggered by President Trump's historic trade war. Take a look. All three U.S. stock indexes hemorrhaging at the closing bell just moments ago. The Dow losing nearly 4% of its total value, down more than 1,600 points. The NASDAQ down nearly 6%. The S&P plunging nearly 5%. Wall Street responding to the unexpected scope and severity of President Trump's sweeping tariffs of at least 10% on all countries and up to 49% on dozens of nations that he deems to be the worst offenders. CNN's gauge of market fear, it looks like that. It's been off the charts all day as Trump upends a century of U.S. trade policy and threatens to destabilize America's economy and the world's.
Yes, all financial hell is breaking loose out there. I recommend calling your stockbrokers before they hurl themselves out of windows. And while you're at it, pour a stiff drink. At the time of this report, the market is down 1,600 points. That's the biggest drop since the COVID lockdowns of 2020, which, if you are keeping track, was presided over by Donald Trump. And people think he's an economic genius? The market lost $3.1 trillion in value in a single day, and that number is likely to go higher as our trading partners implement more and more reciprocal tariffs in the coming days. Layoffs have already begun. Whirlpool is laying off a third of its workforce in Iowa, a state that went for Trump in 2024. Stellantis is laying off 900 employees, and that's on top of a 205% spike in layoffs in the month of March. Like I said, pour a stiff drink. You're gonna need it. Amid all this chaos, the kind of economic panic that we haven't seen since the financial meltdown of 2008, there is a modest glimmer of hope. Hey, in moments as dark as this one, we need all the hope we can get. A bipartisan group of senators has come forward to rally the Congress to nullify Trump's tariffs and avert the trade war. Chief among them is an unlikely suspect, the cadaver of Mitch McConnell. We say cadaver because, have you seen the man? And because conventional wisdom says McConnell is politically dead, having given up his role as Senate Majority Leader. But he does still hold some sway with the party, and in a moment when Republicans are looking for an alternative to Trump's economic suicide, Mitch may have one last moment of leadership in him. Posting to Twitter earlier today, he said this: "As I have always warned, tariffs are bad policy and trade wars with our partners hurt working people most. Tariffs drive up the cost of goods and services. They are a tax on everyday working Americans. Preserving the long-term prosperity of American industry and workers requires working with our allies, not against them. With so much at stake globally, the last thing we need is to pick fights with the very friends with whom we should be working to protect against China's predatory and unfair trade practices. That includes what we do on trade." McConnell went on to say, quote, "At a time when Americans are tightening their belts, we would do well to avoid policies that heap on the pain. We ought to strengthen our friendships abroad and reinforce our allies as pillars of American prosperity and security," unquote. Well said, Mitch. Already that sentiment has spread throughout the Senate, which earlier today passed an override bill against Trump's tariffs. For Republicans, McConnell, Rand Paul, Susan Collins, and Lisa Murkowski all voted in favor of the measure. The bill did pass the Senate. That's the good news. The bad news? At the moment, it's non-binding and needs to pass the House. Thus far, Speaker Mike Johnson has shown himself cuckolded to Trump, so it's unlikely the Republican leadership in the House will back the bill. That said, with a slim majority of only 3 votes in the House, should Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats manage to pick off just 3 votes, a resolution could hypothetically pass.
And we need a resolution. We need a resolution in this country. Because Trump's trade wars is not beneficial to us, the American people. But he's out there playing golf. At least Mitch McConnell is trying to help in some kind of way. He voted against Donald Trump with this. So it's showing he at least trying to be for the American people, even though he is a Republican. He's a Republican to his heart. But he knows right from wrong. He knows what's going to tear down our economy. And Donald Trump doesn't care.
People were eating their slaves. In honor of Black History Month, let's talk about history that doesn't make headlines, mainly because we got idiots like this trying to whitewash history.
In 1800, President John Adams took up residence in what was then called the Executive Mansion. It was only later on they named it the White House. Slaves that worked there were well fed and had decent lodgings provided by the government.
One of the most famous cases of this is Nat Turner, a man who led one of the largest slave rebellions of his time. Turner was eventually caught, and he was flayed, and they used his skin to make a coin purse, while his bones were divided out as trophies to be passed down as heirlooms. And lastly, what was left of him was turned into grease. Slavers at the time described Black people as seasoned, as all food should be, and more seasoned potentially meant more money when selling them at auctions. Slavery in its entirety was cannibalistic. They cannibalized their lives, their souls, and yes, even their bodies. My goal for this knowledge is to be used as a tool or a weapon to fight back against these narratives. The narratives that they were well fed, had a roof over their head, or they didn't have it that bad. Because
they lived in old shacks that they had to
Bill
build.
O'Reilly in this clip that are trying to whitewash history. White people were eating their slaves. In honor of Black History Month.
I wanted to slide it up in there for today.
I'm going to be real quick. Did you know currently in America we have between 440 to 500,000 undocumented European immigrants? Now, when I say European, I mean they're from places lighter than me, and they're lighter than the undocumented immigrants that are currently being demonized by this current administration. The demonized immigrants that also pay almost $100 billion to the government in taxes. Even crazier? Even though those undocumented European immigrants barely pay a fraction of what the demonized immigrants pay, none of those European immigrants are being rounded up by ICE agents. None of them. I'm sure it's a good reason. It's got to be. It can't be the obvious reason I think it is, because that would just be crazy, right?
Well, it is.
I'm going to be real quick. Did you know currently in America we have between 440 to 500,000 undocumented European immigrants?
And they pay taxes, but they don't benefit from it. Yes, the undocumented brown people pay taxes, but they do not benefit from it. But the European illegal immigrants do. Look at this fool.
Humbled by it. And you can guarantee that every day that I'm going to lay it down for the people of America.
Watch Donald Trump's face. Look at him. Look at Trump. He like him.
As Senator Tim Scott, thank you for your leadership. I'm real humbled by it.
Pay attention to Trump's face.
Every day that I'm
Grinder.
For the people of America. As Senator Tim Scott, thank you for your leadership. I'm real humbled by it.
Zesty in the White House. Zesty in the White House. That's what's up, y'all. Zesty in the White House. I told y'all about these YT men.
I just want to call up any 9/11 responder to come forward.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good. Look at these nice people.
All you guys come forward.
They mistreat our vets.
That's
the
what
White House
cancer looks
mistreats
like.
our
That's
veterans.
what COPD looks like. That's what pulmonary fibrosis looks like. That's what severe respiratory illnesses look like. That's what post-traumatic looks like. They're all dying. So media, interview them after this press conference. Don't interview these people. I love these guys. For what? But I'll tell you what's killing them even more. The toxic fucking redundancy of this place. The toxic redundancy of having to keep coming back. They have to keep telling their stories. Ask Ray Pfeiffer and Lou Alvarez. Oh wait, you can't. They're dead. They died telling their stories. We continue to come back here for 20 years. Then we go to funerals. Then we go to hospital beds. This is real. Doge is not real. Fuck Elon Musk. Let me just say what everybody else is thinking. People are sick and people are dying. I love you guys. I don't want to see you no more. No more. We want to be left alone. Leave us alone. We keep playing defense. Where's the offense? We ask. No more asking. We're demanding. From Longworth to Hart to HHS to the White House. Now. Have a good day.
The veterans are fed up with the Republican Party. They're being mistreated. Their benefits are being taken away. My daughter's a veteran. I know what he's talking about. It's real.
They lead the way. Trust black women, they lead the way. White women, stop abandoning your sisters. Trust black women, they lead the way. Oh, we're mad as hell. Oh, can't you tell? Oh, we're mad as hell. Can't you tell? We descend to fucking fascists. Oh, we're mad as hell. Can't you tell? Thank you.
Women's rights, honey, get out there, because you know they marching tomorrow. The reason I showed that video, because our great American white people, especially white women out there fighting, they trying to strip of our rights, which they already have, pretty much. Us women are something, and those white women, they are going to be powerful tomorrow. They're going to be the most powerful people out there tomorrow marching. Thank you. This is to you. Cheers. But we will not be out there. Thank you. And look at Frumpy Dumpy.
Then Donald Trump is now refusing to attend the dignified transfer of the 4 soldiers who recently died in Lithuania during a training exercise. Instead, Trump is going to attend his Saudi-backed Live Golf tournament. They have a dinner that night that Trump doesn't want to miss, so he's decided to do that rather than honor these 4 American soldiers. If you remember last week when Trump was asked about them in the Oval Office, he said he didn't even know about the story. Lithuania's president, however, has honored the 4 dead American soldiers. With Trump, I guess this is just par for the course. We're going to continue to follow this and much more. Remember to follow our account and add the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. A new interview with Gavin Newsom is out now. This just in, Donald Trump is now refusing.
Be sure to subscribe to Midas Touch Network on YouTube. Fair use, educational, and great for research. Donald Trump rather go play golf than do his duties as president. Playing golf has nothing to do with being the president of the United States. He does not value that Oval Office. He does not value the American people. So what do we get? He's going to play golf. Well, he's there already. That's what he values. He just wants the title. He doesn't want to do the work. Elon Musk.
Nobody else seeing that this man is literally taking over the world quietly. First of all, he's got Trump in his back pocket. So much so that Trump opens an agency that he gets to rule that allows him to pretty much delete and fire any government agency that might disagree with him and his policies under the guise of, we're cutting spend. Now, you should cut spend. Everyone's going to agree with that. And that is a genius thing to say. Second thing is, he owns Tesla, an AI self-driving car. If he wants you not to leave your house, your car ain't leaving. And if he wants me, who doesn't
They have
own a Tesla,
control
to
of
leave
your
my
cars.
house, he's
Do
gonna
not
bring
buy those
Teslas and block
Teslas.
all the roads, and entire cities are stuck. Okay? If he wanted to, he controls Starlink. 40% of the world's satellites, all the internet in the world. Internet
Cell
is
phones
information.
will go
He
down.
can just turn it off tomorrow, and no one has internet. On top of that, he also is building something called Neuralink. Neuralink is a chip that goes in your brain that connects to Starlink and all the internet. So now you have a chip in your brain. He programs it. I'm sure it has AI in it. The tech is there. He can literally brainwash people to do whatever he wants. On top of that, he owns SpaceX. He's a monopoly in SpaceX. So he's about to monopolize social media. He's monopolizing the internet. He's monopolizing the skies. He's literally doing whatever he wants. And no one's looking at it. He's completely unchecked. We didn't elect him. Now, on the surface, it looks like he's a good guy. But that much power, no one should have that much power. And people aren't realizing if he wanted to turn against us, he has everything he needs to take over the world. Share this. Have people know what's up. Who is nobody else seeing?
I've been seeing what this guy is saying. But Donald Trump, all he can see is dollar signs because he got that from his father. All he can see is dollar signs. So he doesn't see the benefit of what the American people need. He only saw what his pockets and his bank account wanted. And it wasn't for us.
Then, if you're black, this just might piss you off a little bit. In 1798, the government invoked something called the Alien Enemies Act, which allowed the president to authorize the arrest, relocation, or deportation of any male over the age of 14 who hailed from a foreign enemy country. And then here's where it gets interesting. In 1988, the government set up a trust fund of $1.25 billion to pay reparations to Japanese Americans for their sufferings from 1798 to 1802. Now, I don't know how good you are at math, but that is 4 years. Those same reparations were not offered to the group of people who suffered from 1619 to 1865. Do you know who those people were? Yeah, us. Japanese Americans received a trust fund of $1.25 billion for 4 years of suffering, while African Americans were told to get over it for over 200 years of slavery. And then it was stated that reparations for African Americans would cripple this country financially. We're already crippled. Paraplegic, if you will. And then I'm still confused because we send billions of dollars to other countries, but we have not given a dime to the people who built this one. Yeah. And then if you're black, this just might piss you off a little bit. In 1798, the government invoked something called the Alien Enemies Act, which allowed the president to...
I got to throw something in there to benefit my people because we're not marching tomorrow. So I got to teach my people. So don't get offended. We had to learn your history all of our entire time in school. Take a history lesson. Learn something about black people for a change.
I began by asking Chris McGreal to discuss Musk's grandfather, Joshua Haldeman.
We see Musk's grandfather, Joshua Haldeman. He immigrates to South Africa in 1950, and that's really when apartheid's just starting to kick in. The 1950s are when the first laws, South Africa had discriminatory laws before, but you see the specific apartheid laws, which are much more aggressive, and in many ways reminiscent of the Nazi Nuremberg laws against Jews in the 1930s. They have very similar echoes in stripping black people from the right to work in certain places, their movements, controlling them, confining them to areas. You already had a situation which is now, come to the fore because of recent events with Trump. But
you mean with Elon Musk giving the Nazi salute?
Yes, but also with the sanctions over land, is that the 1913 Land Act had already deprived most black people of land in South Africa anyway.
Of their own land.
The 7% or 10% as it was of the population that was white owned more than 85% of the land under the Land Act of 1913. So the apartheid laws kick in the 1950s. Musk was born, Elon Musk was born in 1971 in Johannesburg, and at that point, the Prime Minister was a guy called John Forster. And John Forster's background is very telling, really, because Forster in the 1930s had been a member of a neo-Nazi militia called the OB, which was openly sympathetic and linked to the Nazis in Germany. But in 1942, John Forster, later Prime Minister, stands up and gives a speech, and he talks about the system that their kind of ideological belief system, which was Christian nationalism. And he says, Christian nationalism in South Africa is the same as Nazism in Germany and fascism in Italy. It's all anti-democratic. It's all the same thing.
Was the grandfather of Elon Musk on the record in his support for Forster?
Well, he was certainly on the record in his support for apartheid, very vividly so, yes. And he said that that's why he'd moved to South Africa from Canada in 1940 was in support of it. By 1971, when Elon Musk is born, that man is the Prime Minister of South Africa. And Christian nationalism is the basis of not only the political philosophy, but the entire education system that Elon Musk is brought up into.
So take us from Elon Musk's grandfather and moving to South Africa in the 50s to his father, how they gained their wealth.
He arrives without a lot of money, but it's Elon Musk's father, Errol, who makes the real money, principally through investments in emerald mines in Zambia. And, you know, mining conditions in southern Africa in that period were really pretty dire in the 1960s and 70s. Very high death rate, very poor conditions, but the owners got very rich. And Musk lived what can only be described as a neo-colonial life. If you were white South African in that period and you had any money at all, you lived with servants at your beck and call, you lived in sprawling housing, and what you see with Errol Musk is that when we get a glimpse into just how much money he had when he and Elon's mother get divorced, she says at the time that, well, he owns a yacht, he owns a jet, he owns several houses, so there was considerable wealth there.
Everybody steals from the motherland. It doesn't surprise me. Everybody steals from the motherland, or they use a black person in some kind of way to get ahead. Because America used us for labor, and if we had land, they took it. Like they took it from the were they Indians, but they gave him a whole different name. And Elon mad. Look at this, he's mad.
I added Tesla, dude, to give me a little boost.
I love 10 walls.
225 and dropping.
You had Tim Waltz. Was a huge jerk.
Boo-hoo, boo-hoo.
With the Tesla stock price having
a rich baby crying
in half, and he was overjoyed. What an evil
I'm overjoyed.
thing to do. What a creep. What a jerk.
You a jerk.
Was that Elon crying? Or was the world's richest man allegedly almost in tears over Tim Waltz having a laugh at his expense? I thought we were going to legalize comedy, Elon. What happened to that?
I mean, what unbelievable snowflakery from Elon Musk talking about Tim Waltz. And just in general, I mean, I would have loved it had he cried his little eyes out. And the thing is, Elon Musk has to get a lot poorer in order for the world to get any better.
The iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla, dude, to give me a little boost during the day.
10 walls is amazing. Get him, Tim. We got to get rid of Elon Musk. He got to go. He got to get out of our country. This is not his country. They left Canada, went to Africa, took from African people, apartheid, took their emeralds and everything. America even go over there and take from them. How do you think we get all the diamonds and the amethyst, everything? Most of it come from over there. Tanzanite, Tiffany & Company took that. I love Tiffany & Company, but that's how they got their Tanzanite. I got Tanzanite. I know what I'm talking about. Right now, you can no longer mine it. So if you get some Tanzanite, you better hold on to it. It's valuable.
News right now, make sure to buy your iPhones now because the price of an iPhone could skyrocket as a result of Donald Trump's tariffs. According to new calculations done by Reuters, the average price of an iPhone could rise up to 43%. That means an iPhone that costs about $799 right now will cost over $1,100 after these tariffs are fully implemented. Remember, tariffs are targeting the technology sector, and the Apple stock, well, that's been on the ground today. It hasn't been doing so great. Now, before I continue, make sure to follow me on my Substack, Instagram, and YouTube. They're all linked to my bio. If TikTok is banned in 2 days, that's where I'll be. Now, the price of an iPhone is not the only piece of technology that's good.
iPhone's about to go up. Why? They come from China, y'all. We're fucked.
Major breaking news right now. The stock market has just had its worst day since the height of the pandemic in 2020. Stocks across the board have tumbled. It's absolute Armageddon on Wall Street right now. The S&P 500 closed 4.8% lower. NASDAQ closed 5.4% lower. The worst day since 2020. The Dow Jones dropped more than 1,679 points. The dollar has wiped out all gains since Trump's November 5th victory. Now, before I continue, TikTok could be banned in 2 days, so follow me on my Instagram, Substack.
We did it, everybody. Yeah, everything's gonna be so great.
My wife and my daughter are having issues with their bodies.
Yeah, we're not under the same administration no more. Go ahead and take this ginger ale and go sit down. See, we did it, baby. Make America great. Shut up! Yeah, you didn't do nothing, nigger. This is our country. Don't you ever forget.
This woman, Trump was starting trouble, taking the country back, storming the Capitol.
I will shoot you because I have the right. Now get out of the car. Yeah, he was Dominican. You better have paperwork, sir. Keep your damn hands up.
You voted for Trump? I thought I was out.
No talking, boy.
That's why Trump wants black people to go back to those fields. That's why they sending away our beautiful brown people, because he thinks black people deserve to go back in them fields where they come from. But we come from kings and queens in Africa. Y'all stole us and put us in those cotton fields. Yeah, your ancestors did. You are your ancestors. Mike Pence, he represented Trump's tariffs as massive tax. Mike Pence said the Trump tariff tax is the largest peacetime tax hike in the U.S. history. These tariffs are nearly 10 times the size of those imposed during the Trump-Pence administration and will cost the American families over $3,500 per year. It's going to be more than that because another commentator from the news put $7,500 per year. I can believe it. All I can say is we're fucked. Other world leaders.
Response to tariffs is unity and determination. Our objective is a negotiated solution. But of course, if need be, we will protect our interests, our people, and our companies. Europe has not started this confrontation. We do not necessarily want to retaliate, but if it is necessary, we have a strong plan to retaliate, and we will use it.
Decisions we take in coming days and weeks will be guided only by our national interests. In the interests of our economy. Nobody wins in a trade war. That is not in our national interest. Nonetheless, I want to be clear. I will only strike a deal if it is in our national interest.
For Australia, these tariffs are not unexpected, but let me be clear, they are totally unwarranted. The administration's tariffs have no basis in logic, and they go against the basis of our two nations partnership. Australians can be absolutely certain of this. Our government will always stand up for Australian jobs, Australian industry, Australian consumers, and Australian values.
We're going to fight these tariffs with countermeasures. We are going to protect our workers, and we are going to build the strongest economy in the G7.
Other countries, they're in a positive place. Although these tariffs and everything, they're not allowing it to wear them down. And what's happening, a lot of other countries coming together building things. For example, Mexico and China. They don't build a whole new, instead of the Panama Canal, they build their own thing. They don't even need the Panama Canal no more. So they said F Trump. Every other country is coming together except us. What we're doing, America, we're burning bridges because of Donald Trump and his tariffs. We got an a-hole in the White House. Donald Trump is killing this economy. He is hurting the American people. We must come together strong. I'm going to celebrate y'all out there marching tomorrow. I will not be out there. No black people will be out there. But we will celebrate in support of our white sisters and brothers tomorrow marching. I love y'all guys. Hit that like button before you leave out. Have an amazing weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live tomorrow, Sunday, because I have to finish up my spring issue for my magazine, Queen Magazine, so it can come out in time. And I will let y'all know. And I'll let y'all see the surprise celebrity that I have on the cover of my magazine. Thank you. And I love all of y'all. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hit that like button. Goodbye.